It's the friggin' News Lady, featuring Nikki Landry.
This is one of the reasons why trying to find a job in middle management in America today is so messed up. This is one of my interviews that happened. And you would think in today's world that with all the online communication that we have and the convenience of posting whatever you want for the whole world to see, that when you're interviewing with someone, that they would be more professional. So I'm on my quest to find the answers to, have we become the foundation for no respect when trying to get a job in middle management in America? And the position that I interviewed for was a senior level marketing position with a major company. And mind you that I'm extremely qualified. Considering my last job, I was in charge of a double-digit multi-million-dollar radio station. So the interview, it went exactly like this. I applied online through the recruiter, and once I did the phone interview, I was asked to come in for an in-person interview. I drove an hour to get to the interview, and before the interview took place, there was two weeks in between the time. And within that 2 weeks, they had already gone through 3 different hiring managers. So I had an interview with 3 different hiring managers on the phone before I actually had to show up for my in-person interview. A week later, I had to do another phone interview with the 3rd hiring manager for the position, and she flew in from New York City to meet with me. She told me that they created this position for me since I was better suited for a director's role versus the one that I'd originally applied for. So during the in-person interview, I met with 5 different people who were all at the VP level, and each person was given 30 minutes to speak with me according to their schedule, what they had planned. So during my first interview that I was speaking with one of the VPs with, we went over a little bit over the 30 minutes, and the second person that came in that I was supposed to interview with, she came in the room and interrupted us in the middle of our conversation because we were going over time. So 2 of the 5 people that I interviewed with, they had no idea what position I was applying for. The 3rd person I met, she was 15 minutes late to meet with me. We couldn't find the 4th person who I was supposed to meet, and she didn't answer her cell phone, so we couldn't find her. So eventually she ended up calling back, actually texting back and asking me to go sit and wait for 30 minutes and that she would come and get me. So I went into my car and sat there for 25 minutes, headed back into the building, make sure I was, 5-6 minutes early. I headed back into the building and there was nobody there. No one was there to greet me back in. So I took it upon myself to go upstairs to meet with the person that I was supposed to meet. And I see her walking down the hall and she extends her hand very professionally and she's like, "Hi, Nikki." And I was like, "Yes." And she introduced herself. So I'm puzzled at this point because nobody showed up knowing that I was coming back in. And so the person that I was meeting with, she brings me in this conference room and we're sitting there and she has a bag of food with her. And she says, I hope you don't mind that I'm going to eat my lunch while we do the interview. Really? So I'm thinking, what I said was, "Sure, please, no, by all means, go ahead." Seriously? Who eats their lunch during an interview? That's like me saying, "I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to sit here and paint my toes while we talk about the job." That's so messed up. That is so ridiculous. So we ended the interview. We took the 30 minutes and we were supposed to go meet with the 5th person. We go to her office and she's too busy. I guess the internet crashed. She didn't have time. She was in a panic. So she said, "I don't have time right now. Everything's going crazy, so I'm just going to have to call you later if that's okay." So it was very dramatic. And of course I said, "Please, yes, that's fine. Please feel free to call me." Seriously, I drive an hour away and they're too busy. I was told that they were considering someone else for the position. After I had followed up with the recruiter 2 days later, since I didn't hear from them, I also found out that since they created the position, that they didn't have the funds to actually fund the position. So not only did they create this false position, but they didn't even have a way to fund it. So I'm thinking that she probably just wanted a trip from New York City into Jacksonville, Florida. You know what? Maybe you guys can help me not feel alone and share some of your stories, of your horrible interviewing stories, because I have tons of them. And we're going to keep going until I find the truth of whether or not, if we have become the foundation for no respect in trying to make middle management better again in America. Let's do it. Let's get on this quest. Let's build a revelation.
It's the Friggin' News Lady, featuring Nikki Landry.